John Fetterman and J.D. Vance put forward a railway safety bill that was supposed to address some of the issues from the East Palestine disaster. And so you haven't really heard a lot about it since it came out. John Fetterman, this is from The Insider. John Fetterman says J.D. Vance is more focused on, quote, silly performance art than trying to pass the railway safety bill they've introduced together. And I had this lined up to talk about before I saw Max in the chat, but it's funny, but Max, I wonder if you have anything to add to that, because Max has really been there has not been any other media outlet that covered the situation on the rails more consistently and more accurately than the team at The Real News, headed up by Editor-in-Chief Maximilian Alvarez, and the Working People podcast, talking to leaders of the union, talking to leaders of the Railway Workers United, which is an inter-union cross-craft solidarity caucus, talking to rank-and-file workers about what they're experiencing, talking about the East Palestine disaster. I mean, when all of this popped off about potentially maybe there's going to be a rail strike, and then ended up Joe Biden broke it. He was talking about this, Max was, for a year before all this started happening. I mean, that's how good The Real News is. Like, if you want to know about big national, international labor stories a year before CNN is talking about them, you got to go to The Real News. And so one of the things to come out of this situation in East Palestine, and the issue that almost led to a rail strike that Joe Biden in Congress, and, while I'm talking, Joe Biden broke the rail strike, but it is worth knowing that more Republicans voted in favor of breaking the strike than Democrats. That's just worth throwing out there. But one of the things to come out of that was John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania and Democrat, and J.D. Vance, senator from Ohio, put forward a railway safety bill that was supposed to address some of the issues that came out from the East Palestine disaster. And so you haven't really heard a lot about it since it came out. And John Fetterman says that is in part because J.D. Vance is really not that interested in actually seeing it passed. And, that shouldn't really surprise you that much. John Fetterman said in a sit down with reporters that the duo, after indicating that the rail bill may be just one vote away from getting the necessary 60 votes to pass in the Senate, Fetterman laced into Vance for his effort to ban mask mandates, which he's pursuing this week. Fetterman said it was, quote, frustrating that Vance was, quote, fixating on, quote, silly performance art. With his Freedom to Breathe Act, which is a bill to prevent the federal government from instituting mask mandates on public transportation, airplanes, or public schools until the end of 2024. And so he's saying that Vance needs to be focusing on getting this finished and taken care of. Vance said that he is planning to seek unanimous consent for the passage of the mask mandate bill, blah, blah, blah. Fetterman argued that Vance wants to put up an act that's going to go nowhere, instead of being worried about something that really can be transformative for rail safety.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
And so, that's kind of, really, even no matter what you think about masks, like whether you want to wear them or whether you don't, I don't wear them. And some people, I know that probably some people would hear that and they would have a problem with that. And that's fine if you think that I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not, it doesn't bother me. But I don't wear masks really anywhere. But no matter what your position are on the masks, the idea that this kind of silly bill in Congress is more important than actually getting the railway safety bill passed that should not be a bill that should not be an idea that makes sense, right? Obviously, one of these things is more important than the other, no matter what you feel about the mask thing. Vance tried to defend himself to the Insider. He said, quote, "I think it's an important issue and I care about it," and he's free to disagree, speaking about the mask mandate stuff. There are a lot of things that happen in this building, and there are a lot of issues that we care about, most of which John and I are going to come down on the opposite side of. We've been working their railway bill really hard. We are also going to have to work other things hard as well, because there are a lot of issues that the people who elected me care about. Vance added that he's had pretty minimal day-to-day interactions with Fetterman as they've worked to build support for the bill. Vance said, "Most of my work on the railway bill has been persuading Republican colleagues to sign on to the bill. Obviously, we talked a lot when we were cutting the initial draft of the bill, and we've been doing separate things to try to get it over the hill." So we'll see what happens. Really absolutely wishing Fetterman the best of luck in trying to get this passed, because it's important. It's important, this thing that Fetterman wants to get passed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Adam said that defending himself in the chat, I mean, protesting too much really probably is what's happening. But Adam says, "I've been married for 10 years. Thank you very much." And also the Labor Party guy is Mark Dudzik. Check out the interview with Mark Dudzik. So we should have we got Alex in the Zoom yet?
Do not see her just yet.
Okay, that's fine. No problem there, because we have a caller on the line.
All right, let me get them pulled up. Just one sec.
Let's bring on the air
267. I think we got infinite content over here.
267 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jacob. It's Infinite calling from Philly. I just want to add some extra context onto that story about the railway bill. One of the companies that was, transporting chemicals in the East Palestine derailment, they started making a bunch of donations to congressmen and senators, and the bill just kind of fall into the background. So that corporate money into play. I believe Status Group reported on that. They've been doing excellent work on covering the East Palestine derailment.
Yeah, I think I remember something about seeing it be watered down, but I can't remember exactly what was taken out of it. But I do feel like I remember. Here's a Mother Jones article from June of 23. J.D. Vance watered down his rail safety bill. So I don't know. So folks should check out that to see how transformative it is at this point. But certainly it would be better than nothing, I would assume.
Okay, I just wanted to go on.
And I'm sorry, Infinite Content. Max just put in the chat, quote, "In the last 4 months, Norfolk spent $1.6 million on lobbyists who met with the same elected officials tasked with regulating the company."
That's convenient.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project. And you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.